hello there, YouTube, and welcome to once again, I don't think I ever mentioned it yesterday, 47 degrees the previous night, 47 degrees last night, which is unusual, which I guess wasn't that much different yesterday as well. It's only 60 degrees out here, but oddly enough, the humidity seems kind of high, but things will be that way. Of course, I just got out of the shower too, so got my own humidity going on. Shishi, what are you doing down in that bush? Touch. Hope that cherries are okay for animals, because all of our dogs literally eat them nonstop. It's crazy. But anyway, we're off to work. Welcome Monday. Y'all come on along. 65 degrees, partly cloudy. It's a nice, pleasing ride to work.
Yes, it was.
Mama slept a whole bunch of it.
Because I got up at 4:30.
Oh, she had her little pillow out, tucked back, and just camped out.
I took a little nap.
She goes, that was a fast drive to work.
Mm-hmm. I was talking, then I'm here.
Well, Mama.
Yes, I have.
Made it to that Monday.
Yeah, she's sneaky.
Yeah. Does it every week, dadgummit.
I know.
Let's go in there and see what it's all about.
All right.
All right. Have yourself a wonderful Monday there, Mama.
You too, Papa.
All right. Love you. See you. Bye.
I love you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Apologize for the fans in advance. I gotta let this thing run and get up the temperature. This is a 2022 F3 Limited, or 2021 F3 Limited. And getting a bunch of transmission codes. And sure as the world, there they are. And the solution is to do a transmission flush and ventilation. It's really common to see that when people don't use BRP oils, but he only brought it in for one service so far. He says he's been getting the BRP oil and doing it himself, which he may be, but it's just shy of 19,000 miles. That oil shouldn't look that dirty. The advisor said he came in for his first service, but I think it was at like 10,000, or maybe I misunderstood. It was 1,000. Number one, don't come in before the first service is due, which is at 3,000. Second one is due at 30 or 9,300. The third one is at 19K, which he's like literally right there. So the oil may just be due, but the level was correct, but it's dirty, and the codes are just all related to just a dirty HCM that just needs to be flushed. But what it tells you, yeah, I got to get it up to temperature and everything. It won't even activate the code until it gets to a certain temperature, or the process until it gets to a certain temperature, and it's got to be running to do it. And anyway, it says immediately after do an oil and filter change. Oddly enough, it doesn't tell you to do an HCM filter change. It seems like if anything, you do a HCM change. That's not due until the filter. That's not due until 24K. But we'll get her done. Get some fresh BRP oil in there. I could just be the dirt of it. It almost seems like it has kind of a purple hue to it. I don't know. Pure speculation. But it is what it is. He's got a premium cluster flash update, which unfortunately is an optional update, but there's enough stuff in there. We've always, well, you probably heard me crying about that. What was that, in 2022, I think, when that bulletin came out? Maybe it was late 21. It basically updates it to 2020 and 21s. It updates it to the 23 and 24 level, which they were trouble-free after that. But dang, the thing takes about a half an hour to get that thing flashed on there. And I mean, there's nothing to do, but you're standing idle unless you have something else to do in the meantime. You're pretty much stuck waiting for the computer to do it. So what I'll do is I'll fire it up and let it warm up, because I can actually do that flash while it's running. Now this is the old premium, the LED or LCD, whatever the technology. It's before the TFTs with the Apple CarPlay and all that stuff. But I don't even remember what all the updates were, but I remember it made a difference. Made them a lot cleaner. I did it to I think my 2021 demo I had. So it probably came out in late 21. I don't know. Don't remember. But at any rate, it's worth having on there. And BRP doesn't pay to have it done. It says optional. And then if something goes wrong and you contact BRP, they go, we'll install the premium cluster update. I see it hasn't been flashed. Dude, you say it's optional because you don't want to pay for it. So, but yet you tell us we need to put it on there if they have these problems. I don't know. I'm not complaining. It just doesn't make any sense. But now they're so old, it's rare to see one that needs it. You got to use that Ethernet cord to plug into it, not the new fancy cord that you have to use for the 24 and 25s. It has all the filters and stuff in it. First one I did an update, it says use the connection cable, so I grabbed my old Ethernet cable that we're using on these, and it says it can't connect to the cluster. I'm like, what's going on? And so I read the bulletin, read the fine details, the little side note there saying you need to have this new cable, and here's the part number. So luckily we had it in stock. They had been using it for doing something with the actually on the 10.25 TFT on the snowmobiles. So it was that time of year, not a lot of Spyders coming in, so they were already using it, which whoever used it last didn't bring it back. I think they were using that on a side-by-side up there. If it ends up there, it ends up lost. But anyway, let's get this thing flashed. Sorry about the fan noise, but it's better than listening to this thing run. So I get it running, do the flash, and while it's warming up, I'll do the transmission flush, change the oil and filter, and it should be taillights down the road. You just start getting these crazy codes, and they're all related. It has a bunch of details, check this, check that, the CAN bus thing and different things, but ultimately it tells you to flush the HCM and ventilate it. It does a flush, and the ventilate, I think, just pushes it into the oil, which seems like that would go into the HCM. Apparently that filter's doing something, I don't know. But here we go. Holy moly. Might not be able to get out of here. There's Yamaha, plenty out here. Whew. This dude must be tall. So I may have found something. His oil level was good. Got it apart. He has all BRP stuff in there. Had the Rotex filter. Still, that oil just had this purple look to it that just seems odd to me. But you would not spend all the money for the oil filter O-rings and all that stuff to do the oil change kit and not just buy the kit. There's a substantial savings with buying the kit, even though they're stupid expensive. But what is it nowadays? I mean, look at insurance has tripled in the last, basically 6 years. My mortgage has gone up because of property taxes. Electricity's gone. Everything's gone through the roof. My pay has not gone up, not even close to match what the cost of just look at the cost of food nowadays. It's crazy. Almost daily, Kelly says, somebody just gets irate because the prices have gone up. Had a customer I've talked to several times. He's got a whole slew of bikes in them. Boy, these boards are slipperier than heck. Got some kind of aftermarket floorboards on there. But anyway, you know, the quarter nickel or whatever rolls across the floor, I'll lose my mind and get off somewhere else. What is coming down that road? It's like a forklift full of stuff. That's exactly what it is. Looks like a whole bunch of ladders. But anyway, so they talked to a gentleman. He did have his first service. Didn't, like I said, I don't hope it wasn't 10,000 miles. Although that being said, that one was at the 2015 RT SPE, the special series. I did it at like 75 or 7,800 miles, but it came out just perfectly clean. This oil was dirty, but you know, even when it's dirty, this oil, it's just really good oil. You know, you could tell the viscosity is not broke down, but it didn't stink. So he has been riding with eco mode on or nothing weird like that. But anyway, so I pulled the drain plug out. It was funny, you know, because I mean, I had her raring hot when I pulled her out. It was the old ooh, ooh, ow on the old fingers, you know. It's amazing how you can get used to that heat and it doesn't like take a layer of skin off. You just know it's going to be hot and you just kind of ignore it. It's like touching header pipes. If you know it's right there and you're liable to hit it, you just ignore it and it doesn't burn you. I don't know. It's just like mind over matter or something. So anyway, the drain plug's hot, you know, and I grabbed away and I got a rag sitting there that it plops on. And it wasn't until, you know, I taken the oil filter out. It says Rotax, and I can tell by the oil filter cap that it's got the correct, you know, out of the kit O-rings. So everything's BRP. He said he'd been buying the BRP kit, so good on you. So everything was cool until I get to changing the O-rings and sealing washer on the engine drain. So, you know, from top to bottom, it's a green small O-ring, a black larger O-ring, and then a sealing washer. But you have to put them on in reverse. Put the sealing washer first, because you could, if you try to put the sealing washer on afterwards, especially when they're fresh, you could potentially nick that O-ring. Well, I'm looking at that drain plug and I'm going, what in the holy heck? So, yeah, the black O-ring, the larger one's on the top, and the green smaller one's on the bottom. So, the black one, because it's a larger O-ring, I don't know, some guy said that I accidentally put those in there backwards once. And so I purposely tried to stick them in there backwards. You can't do it. It cuts that black O-ring and gets stuck in the hole. So yeah, I just experimented because I had some extra ones. I'm going, it's impossible. It has to be impossible. And it is. It doesn't work. It can't work. So anyway, luckily the O-ring came out, although it was chewed. But you know, those, even though you got the same oil going through there, it kind of say separated in a way. They're going through their own filters, and when it drains, there's three areas that get dumped. You got the clutch, which has its own drain plug, and with the engine, it drains the sump, and then it drains the pan, and it drains some of the clutch. So there's 3 areas there between the sealing washer and the first O-ring, which should you know, from the bottom up should be black. I think that's the sump. The one in the middle, I believe, is what comes from the HCM, you know, because that clutch cover gets pretty full over there too. It doesn't all come out of the clutch cover, and then of course the tank dumps. Anyway, them O-rings weren't working right. And by the looks of it, you know, I'm kind of holding the O-ring, and it doesn't look like any of the pieces came out. And of course, it's black. When it comes out with the oil, I looked for pieces. I didn't run it through a strainer or anything. You know, obviously it must have come out. Or maybe it didn't, but that HCM has screens and all kinds of stuff that, you know, I don't know. Whether that caused something, I have no idea. The fact is, you know, it was throwing codes, and the solution was to for the two codes, both of them, you know, it says check that, you know, it had an over voltage at some point, and that kind of thing doesn't say when, so I don't know, did it happen recently, has it been there a long time? It was an occurred thing. It wasn't active, doesn't say when it got activated. I hate when it, give me the details. You have all the details, you just ain't showing us all the details. But at any rate, the flush went smoothly, and then the cleaning. His mirrors are kind of high. I can't, because he's a tall boy. Oddly enough, the left one is actually really low. But people do different things with the mirrors. So everything's good. So the cleaning and the ventilation is what they call it. Of the clutch, it went smoother, normal. The high-end cluster is what they refer to these. That software went, oddly enough, faster than normal. So anyway, I knocked a half an hour worth of time. I told them, you know, charge half an hour less. But he's got a fresh oil filter. Went over it. Everything's cool except for that O-ring, which is, you know, like no. And the other thing, geez, he had almost 22 pounds in the front tires and 22 pounds in the rear tire. So he was way over on the fronts. Now these, you know, I'm always talking about RTs more than anything else. It's 20 in the front, 22 in the rear. Just don't mess with it, because no matter what, and even BRP says just 20 and 28. 20 up front, 28 in the rear. I know it says plus or minus 2, 20 in the front, 28 in the rear. With F3s, I've been doing 16 in the front and 28 in the rear. Hello there, see this guy with your fancy little bib on the top. And I lost totally. I was trying to think if that was I think that was an old 700 or 750 Magna back there. At first I thought it was a VMAX. Nope. But anyway, the tire pressures, I go all F3s, whether it's, you know, standard, T model or limited like this, it's 15 up front, 28 in the rear. Well, like I say, I go 1 pound over on the front. It seems they handle better. The tires seem to last a little longer. 20 in the front, they're sketchy feeling. 22, which this thing had in it, man, this thing must have been flightier than a skittish dog out there. And they do, they just get flighty and funky feeling. Get you back out of there. I was about to say, I'm probably rolling faster. You get them rolling too fast, and the park brake won't activate. And what am I on? I'm on the left side of the bike. That's a big no-no. But anyway, hopefully you'll be happier that I did it for a little less time than what I originally quoted. I've got a Riker that there was a fuel pump recall on those things, and we just recently did it, and we since then the gal saying her gauge isn't reading right. The Riker's fuel gauges are a weird thing. You need to fill that tank up, you know, properly fill it up. Don't, you know, cap the thing. Properly fill it up every time, because the fuel level gauge is only reading, actually reads once it gets to the halfway point. So when you fill it up based on your previous fuel mileage, it calculates, because it's assuming you're filling it, so it calculates what it takes until it gets to halfway when it actually starts reading it. And you can get some strange readings where once it gets to halfway, it's not where expected, so all of a sudden the gas gauge changes. And the danger to that is sometimes it thinks you're really getting good gas mileage because you're short filling it, and you're going along going, cool, I got enough miles to get to the next town. Once it gets to the halfway point and it actually starts reading the fuel, it's going, no, you know, you didn't fill it, you skewed the coding here. You really only have this many miles. So people flip out over it. You have to fill them every time you stop. I can't imagine. I know when I was a kid and I didn't have enough money to, you know, fill up that old Buick station wagon or my dad's truck and my old, you know, racing van, because the thing only, it, you know, it took 100 gallons, it seemed like. I would short fill them, but you know, you got a gauge that reads. Other than that, always fill your tank. You short fill them all the time, you end up with rust in the top of your tank. Then suddenly you go, well, I got paid today, let's go ahead and fill it up. I haven't filled it up in a month. Now you just took all that rust that's developing because you left so much air in your tank. All that goes through your fueling system, and you get a plug filter. If it gets past the filter, you got a plug carburetor. Always fill your tank. And in the Riker world and BMW, the early F series like this, for short period 650, but the 700s and 800s, the Rotax powered engines, it did the same thing. It didn't start reading until halfway. The rest of it, it calculates it, assuming you fill the tank every time. But anyway, how's that for rattling on? Like my mom, she had 1,001 Irish sayings, as Irish folks do. Oh, see that these early ones, you go on. Oh, at the park brake, you hold it for just a second too long, and it switches to between eco mode. Oh, meant to hit the mode button. Oh, it won't do it while I'm in. I know I just turned eco on. That was weird. Oh, there it goes. A little delayed reaction. See how you can just on, off, on, off, on. And these older gauges, they'll go up there and hit mode to get the mileage. And they'll accidentally turn the eco on. And then I go up and tell the customer, hey, I noticed you had eco on, and you should never do that. No, I watch your videos. I never turn eco on. Come to find out, it was a service writer trying to get the mileage off of the thing. They're hitting that, but you got to hit the mode button to get in. Just they get confused. Well, I hit that eco mode and don't realize they done it. But anyway, my mom used to say, son, you could talk the head off a crutch. When I was a kid, I couldn't figure out what in the world she was talking about. God rest her little Irish soul. Those Honda Accords, they sure are looking good nowadays. runs good. Runs real good. I didn't find any. I did, full inspection thing on her while I had her. I gotta wait for this guy to go because I'm gonna end up cutting him off. Pay attention, I'm turning, son. Alright. Alrighty, good day. That guy probably sees me in this shop shirt and thinks, up there, it looks like a policeman. These things do have that, the white patches at a distance, it does kind of have that. And, it's the right color, dark blue pants, that light blue shirt. Anyway, thanks for coming along for a rip and listen to my ramblings on the 21 F3 Limited. Well, hello there, YouTube. Oh no. Sasha's gonna start barking right in the goodbye vlog.
Of course.
She's looking at something up in that tree back there. But yeah, that was a nice day. I got a nice ride on that F3 Limited. And I went home. We've been home for a bit, so I'm trying to gather up how the day went. I got some stuff I'll talk to you about on that Riker. And we'll talk about that tomorrow. I have enough time to rattle on about that here. Somebody's running around out there setting the dogs off.
Yes.
Raylan's buzzing around out there. I can see Sasha just sitting. He's going, it's about time for my walk, Dad. Goofy mutt.
I know it.
But anyway, I think we're just going to roll out of that. I'm going to get my ears lowered a little bit tonight. And
All right.
go from there.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give her a thumbs up. And you guys have a wonderful Tuesday or Wednesday.
Heck yeah. All right.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
Spyder Riker talk tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye-bye now.